Hello folks, it's Nahita Rao back again, and I actually have been requested to make a video on Rahu Ketu's transit in Gemini and Sagittarius. Now you will note that I have made videos on the annual forecast, and in there for each sign I have given a little bit about Rahu Ketu's movement as well. So what I'm going to cover today is going to be a little bit of a repeat of that, but I will elaborate further. So as everyone knows, the biggest highlight of 2019 is Rahu's movement into Gemini and Ketu's movement into Sagittarius. Now remember, this is a general forecast only. What your dasha promises will take precedence and priority over the transits. So for instance, if you are in a Rahu dasha or an Antardasha, then place more emphasis on the Rahu transits, as they will affect you more personally and more directly. Just as if you were in Saturn dasha, observe Saturn's transit closely for its impact. Now I would advise that you listen to both your moon and your ascendant sign, your rising sign. And again, just to emphasize, this is the sidereal calculation by way of Jyotish, not the tropical. All right, so let's get started. So now, for those of you who have been following Rahu's transit, you know that for the past 3 years, Rahu has been in some uncomfortable rashis. I would say that he has suffered for the last 3 years in Cancer and Leo, transiting through what are regarded as his enemy signs, because the Sun and the Moon are both the node's biggest enemies, and also the place where the nodes give the most problems. Now, Rahu will enter Gemini on March the 7th, so in about 3 weeks, and remain there till September 23rd, 2020. So he enters March 7th, 2019, and is there until September 23rd, 2020. Please note, this is the mean node calculation. If you are seeing it from the true node angle, then the date is at the end of March, which is what I've included in my annual forecast. Now, Gemini is considered a place of exaltation for Rahu. As for Ketu, it is Sagittarius, simply because their nature is more congruent with these Rashi signs, and so they feel very comfortable there. Rahu does exceptionally well in Gemini. And overall, what we'll see in the world is perhaps a relief in policies related to immigration, international trade, foreign deals. These are all Rahu-related matters. Being that it is Gemini, all matters related to communication, newspaper, media, mobile technology, commerce, even libraries may go through a powerful transformation. Meanwhile, Ketu is going to be in Jupiter's sign, which is a beautiful place for Ketu. Now, Sagittarius, what is Sagittarius? Sagittarius is a sign of beliefs, organized religion, gurus, foreign affairs, foreign governments. So we may see a transformation in long-held belief systems, in government politics, international relations. But overall, it's going to be a very good transit, so whatever transformation does come our way in these forms is going to be for our best interest. I would say be watchful for the summer months, from late May till mid-September, because there's going to be a pretty tough conjunction with Saturn and Ketu. So those of you who are going through dashas of Saturn or Ketu, I would be especially watchful. Or if you have planets in Gemini or Sagittarius axis, because there's going to be so much concentrated energy there, especially with Mars joining there as well in the summer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a brief summary about each Rashi. And with the nodes, I only take Rahu as aspecting the 5 and 9 position, and of course the 7. Similar to Jupiter. And similar to Jupiter, it will trouble the house where it sits with illusions and lack of clarity. But its aspect will break that illusion. This is how I see it. For instance, if Rahu is sitting in the 10th house, it may bring confusion with matters related to your career. But aspects to the 2nd and 6th house will take away that illusion. How? Through hard work, which is what the 6th house represents, and responsibilities to gain wealth and manage wealth, which is what the 2nd house represents. So it's very important to see the aspects as they're just as relevant to where Rahu is sitting. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, I want to start with Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. So for you, this is a fantastic transit. Rahu moving into your 3rd house in March, which gives you the courage to take big initiatives. And you can succeed in some risk-taking if that's the way that you want to go. It will boost your confidence. Rahu will aspect your 7th house of marriage and 11th house of income, friends, social circles. So these areas will get a boost, bringing opportunities for more income or more than one income source. As well as a great time for relationships and marriage prospects may come your way. So if you want to settle down, you will have plenty of opportunities to do so, especially if you are in Rahu Dasha or Antardasha. So I would say socialize more, take more chances in love. Fabulous time to make lots of friends, and your social circles will likely increase. You may get promoted and travel abroad. In case you wish to switch jobs and grab a great offer, this is an ideal time for that. If you want to start a business, this is an excellent time for that. This transit will prove to be financially beneficial and bring prosperity. But you have to act. Because remember, Rahu is transiting your 3rd house. And 3rd house is what? Self-effort. So you have to take action for these initiatives to materialize. It's also a great time to write a book, launch a website, write blogs. All of these things are connected to the 3rd house. You'll get great results in these areas. You may also receive more opportunities to connect with your siblings if you have any. 9th house Ketu will bring good fortune. But make decisions with caution during the summer months because of Saturn's presence there as well. Yeah. So for Taurus, what's happening for Taurus? So Rahu moves into your 2nd house in March, giving you some boost to your income and wealth matters. But it could also bring some adjustments to your family life, so be watchful for that. Also, just be cautious with your finances, and I would say don't take big risks. Family life may bring some challenges as well. Rahu will aspect your 6th and 10th house of the career, bringing you opportunities for a new job or profession. Your career and profession should experience more growth. If you've thought about getting a pet, this is an excellent time to do so because of its aspect to the 6th house. And Ketu in the 8th house with Saturn means just be watchful of health matters, I would say. Yeah. All right, Gemini. So for Geminis, Rahu moves into your own house, giving you courage to take initiatives. In the 1st house, it will bring a desire to reinvent yourself in some way or the other. Even make big changes in your life. You may feel restless and you would want to make the changes quite quickly, and opportunities will come quite suddenly to do so. Rahu will aspect your 5th and 9th house, so these areas will get a great boost, bringing opportunities for higher studies, new business ventures. It might increase the desire to have children, for instance. I would say you'll have to be watchful for abrupt changes. in your life that could lead to some stress, especially from June till October. After this period, though, things will look up again, because Jupiter will move into Sagittarius in November, and Saturn will be getting ready to go into Capricorn. So you'll experience a great relief at the end of the year. Okay, Cancer. What's happening for Cancer? So Cancer, Rahu moves into your 12th house in March. So you're going to feel the relief from the first house transit, because when you experienced the first house transit, you also had Mars in the mix. So that would have been a bit difficult. 12th house also represents expenses. This means that you may be spending a lot. It could be on home repairs or buying property, of course, because of Rahu's aspect to your 4th house. There are chances of you traveling abroad on a long distance trip. Due to this transit, however, you have to watch for your domestic life. It may experience some turbulence. 12th house is also the house of seclusion, isolation, charity. So giving away things that you do not need is an excellent way to spend this transit, as well as donating to charity. It's a great time to let go of things, of possessions that are outdated, even people and ideas and thoughts and anything. Just a great time to let go, just generally. Also a good time to relocate abroad or take trips to unknown places, or move residence, especially to a faraway foreign location, because of the 12th and 4th aspects. Your career and work prospects are good throughout the whole year. So much better transit than last year. Okay, so for Leo, Leos are going to have a fantastic Rahu transit. The best in a long, long time. It's going to be moving into your 11th house in March, bringing a lot of relief from the 12th house transit. This is a great place for Rahu to transit. It's a place where Rahu can launch and execute its most cherished plans and goals. It'll be good for income. It'll play a major factor in adding to your benefits in some way or the other. This 18-month period can also bring some fame and prosperity. You can earn from multiple sources. You'll definitely grow professionally. There will be a lot of golden opportunities coming your way, so be prepared for that. You'll be successful in your work, and you're more likely to receive benefits in various fields and multiple sources. Rahu will also aspect your 7th house of a marriage or serious relationship, as well as your 3rd house of siblings. So these areas will get a great boost, bringing more opportunities for income, marriage prospects, as well as creative and business initiatives, because again, that's 3rd house. If you want to settle down, you will have plenty of opportunities coming your way, especially if you are in a Rahu Dasha or Antardasha. So I would say socialize more, take more chances in love, and just get out there and be visible. If you want to start a business, excellent time to do that. Rahu transit in the 11th will very likely increase your financial gains, and also lead to a big jump in your social circles, and friends and networking and things like that. If you have a blog or website, you will see a jump in popularity there as well. So a great transit for you, Leo. Now what's happening for Virgo? Virgo, for you, Rahu is moving into the 10th house in March, giving you progress in career and new opportunities for growth. 10th house denotes your profession, your reputation, your deeds, and also your karma. So this is a place where Rahu can do very well. It's a position where you can benefit financially for sure. It will it performs quite well because Rahu is very much akin to the earthly houses, like the 10th house. It will also give an upward kick to your career. Here you can achieve quite a lot in the 10th house if you put your energy into these things. Because remember, 10th house is also the house of where, like I said, karma, which is to act, take action. It will aspect your 2nd house of family and wealth, as well as your 6th house of service. So these areas will get a great boost, bringing opportunities for more projects, perhaps more savings. There could be an additional member to your family. This is usually a fairly positive transit for Rahu. It promotes success and status and good image. If you're not employed, then it just makes you busier than usual, taking care of various ambitious projects. If you're planning to become an entrepreneur, then this is an excellent time to do so. It's a great time for seeking a mentor as well, and for maybe cultivating connections in the government or with any higher-ups. So fairly good transit for Virgo. For Libra, for you, Rahu is moving into the 9th house in March. The 9th house represents beliefs. So this transit can get you to think beyond conventional beliefs and philosophies. This can be connected to work. It can be connected to the environment. It can be connected to politics, of anything. This house also represents travel. So you might also feel the urge to travel to a foreign country. There are chances of you going on spiritual pilgrimages if that's something that you're interested in. It will aspect your 5th house of children and creativity and your 1st house of identity. So these areas will get a boost, bringing the desire perhaps to have children and changing your image or appearance in some way. For instance, if you want to reinvent yourself in some way, then this is a great time to do that, especially if you are going through a Rahu Dasha or Antardasha. This Rahu transit is especially good for creativity. It promotes education as well, either learning or teaching, and anything related to technology as well. Yeah, so good transit overall. Scorpio, what's happening for Scorpio? Scorpio is moving into your, Rahu is moving into your 8th house in March. So I would say take care of your health during this transit. There can be a sudden decrease of income for you and an increase in expenses, as Rahu will affect your sources of income. So I would say keep a close tab on your cash flow. It could bring a number of changes because, after all, the 8th house is one of transformation and metamorphosis. You could change a job, residence, or simply redefine some aspect of your life. Change is good, of course, but it's also good not to make changes purely out of a sense of urgency or restlessness. So you have to be watchful for that because, again, the 8th house does promote change. So take your time. I would say pay attention to your intuition and then take action. Rahu will aspect your 4th house of income and 12th house of seclusion. So these areas will get a boost, bringing opportunities for spiritual retreat, moving abroad, changing residence. For Sagittarius, what is going on? Well, Sagittarius has a very eventful year, of course, with so much planets and so much energy in the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. So Rahu, of course, moves into your 7th house, which gives you a strong desire to get into a relationship. If you're already in a relationship, then there will be some issues to deal with there. For example, if you feel strongly attracted to someone, take your time to get to know them. Because of Saturn's aspect on your 7th house, this is especially important to do. I would say if you're already in a relationship and issues do come up, I would say keep the communications very, very open and keep an open mind as well. I would say give your partner the benefit of the doubt and don't doubt their loyalty, and perhaps try to give some space to each other to deal with this transit. Rahu will aspect your 3rd house of initiative and courage, and 11th house of income. So these areas get a great boost, bringing opportunities for more income and business prospects. If you wanted to start a business, then it's an excellent time to do that. It's a great time to make connections with others, join networking groups, and increase your social circle. You may feel a bit low because of all the drama going on in Sagittarius this year, especially if your moon is placed there. So for you, the benefits may not come until late in the year, but I would say just be patient and persevere. Opportunities for business partnerships could also come your way, so it would be a great time to form alliances of any type, but be cautious when doing so. So for Capricorn, what's going on? Rahu moves into your 6th house in March, and that brings opportunities to learn about alternative health and healing, for instance. 6th house is a difficult place, but Rahu actually does very, very well in the 6th house. Although it will bring more problems and situations for you to deal with, it will also bring the solution, so that afterwards, what you'll see, the results, is actually you'll be in a better place than you were before the problems came along. Rahu here, though, to be watchful for, it increases your vata. So it produces a tendency to be more in your head than in your body. So I would say be watchful for that. It's a good time to, for example, reinvent your health routines and try to do something new. You want to actually just get out of your head. So any sort of physical exercise, take a yoga class, anything like that. You need to be, I would say, spending some time there. You could get an acupuncture treatment. That's another example. On the career side, your career will definitely get a boost with 6th house. You might be offered a job promotion or an income hike. If you wanted to make changes in your career, it's a fantastic time to do that. You'll have plenty of opportunities coming your way, especially if you're in a Rahu Desha. Yeah, so a favorable transit for you, Capricorn. So Aquarius, what is happening for you? For you, Rahu moves into the 5th house in March, which can cause a little bit of anxiety. Rahu is a planet of intensity and passion, as we know. So sometimes this can create powerful attractions to people in the 5th house. If this happens, there can be a feeling that the relationship is fated, or that you've been together before in a past life, for example. It's especially good for creativity of any sort, productivity. It's good for that, especially if it has a technical element to it. It's good for writing, a variety of creative type of modalities. Be careful with any transaction or investment. I would say wait to make any investments. Better time to do that would be after November. Rahu's aspect to your 1st house will make you feel the desire to reinvent yourself or to project yourself in a different way. You will feel quite independent during this period and less inclined to go with the crowd. So for Pisces, for you, Rahu moves into the 4th house in March. This may make you feel restless at times, so be watchful for that. Because Rahu is transiting your 4th house, you may think of moving. This can also produce restless sleep, strange dreams, a little bit of insomnia, as it aspects your 12th house, which is also the house of meditation and seclusion. Sometimes this can bring an increase of thoughts during meditation, so just be patient and just bear with it. It would be a good time to take up spiritual practice to manage strange thoughts and dreams. It could bring relocation abroad and travel to exotic places. If you want to relocate and make any big changes with your residence, you will have opportunities coming your way, especially if you're in Rahu Dasha or Antardasha. Yeah. So that's all, folks. That is my coverage for Rahu and Ketu's movement. Overall, it is a fantastic transit. So, but of course, look out for lots of changes coming your way. Thank you and be well.